Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and it's time for, well, a news update-ish. I mean, I'm not exactly John Scarce, but hey. Surprise! This one's about Wizards of the Coast. Now, if this was legitimately like an actual series slash show on like CNN or something, it would probably just be called The News Dump, or The News Attack. It's almost more of like an ESPN show. You are literally about to get attacked by news at a rapid pace. If that for some reason is going to trigger you, I can't help you. So here's what started all this. People have been saying this since before I had a YouTube channel, so don't blame me. Magic the Gathering is the best trading card in the game, run by the worst company in the world, or some version of that, because I think we all know that's probably Bank of America. No, seriously. There's a group that holds a contest where people vote for the worst company in the world, or at least in America. I don't remember which. Bank of America won it at least once. I know they're in the top 4 basically every single year. I mean, if you give loans out to irresponsible idiot crack addicts and then they don't pay it back, but you don't care because you sold it off wrapped in some kind of financial bond, and then you literally ruined the entire world's economy, yet you still exist as a company. I mean, that beats Wizards of the Coast, but back in Wizards of the Coast territory, who I'm just gonna wonder from now on was even in the top 16 maybe, everybody has been hating them for like 20 years plus. I mean, I'm sure they were kind of cool for a little bit, that's why I said 20, not 24. But they've been known to make a lot of mistakes. And it's not just recently. People say, oh, recently they're ruining the game. So this recent thing they did, oh, there hasn't been a good set since, you know, Theros or whatever. Or like Origins was the last good set. And I think we all know, okay, Khans of Tarkir was garbage. Perhaps the block, not necessarily the set. But you gotta keep in mind, I mean, even I haven't been playing the game long enough to give first-person accounts of this, but from what I've heard from other people, like, people didn't really like, like the Urza's set. They weren't big fans of New Phyrexia. I mean, there's a couple others where they lost like 10-20% of their customers easy. They're never gonna release a report saying how many they lost, obviously, but it's not a small number. Now, I mean, oh my god, from what I've heard from rumors, they've lost 50% of their customers just from card sales and from large tournament attendance and F&M attendance. From what I've heard is being reported, it's about a 50% loss, give or take. Now, I have no idea if it's anywhere near that or if anybody's exaggerating or if it's worse than that. I mean, according to my sales numbers, it's worse than that. I mean, I wouldn't say Amonkhet's a bad set. I mean, yeah, okay, it's a 7th one to be legal, so maybe nobody needs it, but the cards are more powerful than, like, BFZ. So, yeah, I mean, Magic's not doing so great right now, but this isn't a new thing. So that's the first point I gotta make. Okay, so before I even start just dumping news on you have to realize that Wizards of the Coast has an inherent problem with their company structure and their management. Okay, that is the reason in everybody's opinion. If you talk to ex-workers there, they will tell you what's really up. Nobody talks to anybody. Nobody's responsible for anything. Their corporate structure and their accountability is practically non-existent. And they like to just fly with stupid ideas and ignore good ones. They can't retain good staff because they don't pay enough, even though they make a ton of money. And Hasbro keeps breathing down their necks to make more money, allegedly. So that results in, well, everything they've done stupidly lately. But, you know, as much as I say, like, every time Wizards screws up, I'll cover it, but I also say every time Wizards does something absolutely brilliant, I cover that too. So if you say my channel's overwhelmingly negative, it's because Wizards is that freaking stupid. So what have they done lately? Because people, the whole reason I'm making this video is people keep saying, oh, Wizards is screwing up left and right, I can't believe this, or oh my gosh, Wizards has cleaned everything up, I love them so much, they've turned the company completely around 180 degrees. Neither one of those are true. But holy crap, have they made some, you can almost call it like polarized changes, like very, very about-face 180 changes in certain things. So let's analyze some of them. First, they released some idiotic statistics saying that 42% of their players are female. That is not true. It is somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 to 7%. I mean, just based on YouTube stats and what I've personally seen lifetime ever playing. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with Wizards trying to get women into Magic either. So those promotional things, that's just smart. That's, first of all, it's inclusive and it's fair, and they oppose any kind of like ridiculous sexism and bad behavior. So of course I'm all for that. But trying to make something true and then lying about it and pretending it's true, two kind of different things. Also, them constantly having their staff members and community associates and whoever all say, oh, there's so much sexism in Magic. There's a bunch of just male pigs that go to F&M and they drive away all the women because they don't know how to act around women. Like, shut up with all that. And then, they're all like, yeah, we need more women in Magic. And then also, FYI, yay, we need more like trans people in Magic. Yeah, because I just love it when people with, what was that called? Gender dysphoric disorder. That's what they called it, like, literally 3 freaking years ago. Yeah, I want that shoved in my face and around kids. That's a great influence, yep. The 2 people I know that are trans are deeply mentally disturbed people. I mean, like, psychologists wouldn't even know where to start with them. So them pushing that, oh my god. So let's move into the next thing that they've massively screwed up and then corrected, which this is funny because it's the same story. Speaking of stories, it's the story. I don't know if you heard about this. If you're not on Reddit, good for you. If you are, you probably heard about this, but seriously, get off Reddit. They released a story where apparently, even though Chandra is like, all like schoolgirl crush on Gideon and making comments like that and being kind of like a funny girly girl, like anime character, they decided, no, we gotta les it up a little bit. So now her and Nissa were supposed to be lesbian lovers or something, and they had these very thinly veiled, if you even want to be that generous, references to that in the story, and they were changed within like 12 to 24 hours. Then they, well, in my opinion, lied about it and said, "Oh no, we issued the wrong draft. We uploaded a draft, not a final version." Which, maybe, I mean, they're that disorganized, maybe. But I think they had an author stuff it in there on purpose to push their whole, hey, lesbianism is okay, we're going to shove that in everybody's face, even though we print Magic cards and the only outcome from constantly being just a giant SJW company is to lose customers. That is the only thing that could happen. They're not going to gain more customers than they lose by promoting that kind of agenda, whether they believe in it or not, and whether the customers believe in it or not. I can't talk today. I had too much damn caffeine and I'm tired as hell. So they've both stopped their staff members lately from issuing any content like that and remain completely neutral and silent on it, which is how every corporation should do their PR. Duh. Like I said, I don't sell Magic cards and then also have a giant poster up promoting abortion at my shop. You know why? Because it doesn't have a damn thing to do with selling Magic cards. Keep your personal anythings about anything, political, social, moral, keep all of that out of your corporate image. Oh my god, Wizards. So they've massively screwed that up in the past, especially with what they did to Jeremy, but then they've like corrected it and been like, no, we're not putting that in the story, we just don't need that kind of flack, can we stop pushing that agenda for once? Thank God they finally got a clue, although I'm giving them too much credit, I'm sure Hasbro had something to do with it. So Wizards has been reaching out for more feedback. They've been doing more customer surveys and very like better customer surveys. Like, what do you enjoy about mechanics? What mechanics do you like? Would you like this as a mechanic or would you like that? Which one do you like better? What do you like about the cards? Is the artwork important to you? Do you find the playability to be more important than the price? Do you like sealed better than constructed? Like, really good questions they should be asking. And then they've openly claimed, we, like in every article, we are seeking your feedback. We want to listen to you. So finally, instead of just, I've been at the company for 20 years, I know what I'm doing, and then clearly they don't, they've been actually asking the customers, like a normal, healthy company would do. It's called market research. Actually, I think there's a more specific name for that. I don't know. I don't work in marketing. And then they turn off any kind of comments on their YouTube channel, and they delete anything that they don't want to hear on their Facebook posts. So very contradictory. I mean, I could write it off as them doing image management and not wanting, hey, a promotional piece, and then directly under it a whole bunch of negativity that puts them in a bad light. I get that, but I also think that even if that wasn't an aspect of it, they'd be editing it anyway, so whatever. Oh, and then they've upped the print volume and the aggressiveness of Modern Masters 3. EMA was a little weak, but they kind of went for it. I mean, some people were like, "Wow, they threw some stuff in there for real." Like they people who knew more about Eternal formats than me said, "Yeah, they really threw everything but the kitchen sink into that set." It just, I mean, it was pretty valuable before the reprint, and I put that in double quotes. So they've been aggressively driving down prices and driving up availability so that there's more players playing more often, which is brilliant. That is so smart. That is a good move. So instead of we need to preserve value, we need to preserve long-term single sellers because they're propping up the game. It's like, screw these card hoarding investor douchebags. We want the money. Who the hell says that because they, kept cards in inventory for 5 years that they get all the money? It's our card game. We want the money. So they printed a We Want the Money set, Modern Masters 3, where they printed just about every damn thing that anybody wanted. And then they were a little bit aggressive about the print volume. I think they could have printed 50% more than they even did, though. I mean, $40, or actually, what is it now? $45 for a Scalding Tarn is still too damn much. $90 was too much. $45 is still too much. If you ask me, $20 would be too much. Oh, it's devaluing people's cards. Oh, no. Well, great. For every person that stomps off because they're mad and quits the game when they spent money on a playable deck that they have been using for the last 5 years, can you spot the keywords in that one? They shouldn't be able to also say, I'm selling it, cash out for 30% more. Okay? Nobody says you're entitled to play Magic for free and win prizes for 5 years and then make a profit. That's stupid. For every one of those idiots, those selfish, self-centered douchebags who stomps off and goes to play Hearthstone, they'll gain 10 more modern players that can now afford to play the game. So screw those people. So I'm very glad that Wizards' new policy apparently is screw those people. I hope, I want to call it Invocation Masters, and then I want to call it Ideal Masters because of Skyrim. Whatever the hell actually it's called, that's coming out in November. Iconic Masters, that's what it is. Honestly, at this point, I think that the 2018 set might be called Whatever the Hell Masters, and they're just going to print whatever the hell they want. Oh my god, Miscellaneous Masters. That would be the greatest thing ever. And then the tagline is, it's a bunch of cards, buy it. So I'm glad they made that intelligent shift because it makes them more money, gets them more players, grows the game, keeps Modern from dying. I mean, the benefits, I could go on for the whole damn video. So I'm very glad they changed that. I'm not so glad that they've made a consistent pattern of lying to the customers, like the EMA reprint. Even if it was a reprint, you said it was limited. And if it wasn't a reprint, well, then you said it was limited and you lied about how many you had. Well, any of the investors, which I think you know what I think about them, but still, they pretty much told Wizards they can stuff it up their stocking because they were not interested in a Christmas reprint of it. It's still like $170 a box. It never recovered, but then again, nobody plays Vintage or Legacy, so it was a dead stupid set anyway. If only Commander players are buying your cards, yeah, that's 1/4 right off the bat right there. So lately, Wizards has been pushing the power because they want to sell packs and they want to not release dead sets. Sets that are like, oh, that's neat, but I don't need it because the 4 sets before it are more powerful. Oh, in this case, 6. There's nothing positive about that. They temporarily make money, but then you get Saheeli Rai and like a bunch of unplayable garbage that nobody wants to go up against, like red, white, blue draw control, which is the same deck, by the way. And Mardu vehicle's way too powerful. It runs the best of insert name of card here, creature removal vehicle. It runs the best of everything. And that's just stupid. And then you got toxic crap like Dynavolt where they can generate way the hell too much energy because they let 3 color be too much of a thing. Oh, and you want to push the power level and the value. I mean, BFZ was oversold because they went with, Expeditions plus Full Arts plus, all the other stuff that was in there. It was ridiculous. Speaking of that, little bonus one I gotta throw in, not printing enough fat packs and then not reprinting a second wave of fat packs after they've already learned their lesson 4 times in a row. Blue dice and full art lands, people want those. You think maybe you could run them off again? Or oh no, your printer can't do that because they're in Belgium. Oh, and the print quality lately. The print quality has been down the damn toilet now. This just in the newsroom, they may have fixed it. Okay, no joke. I'm going to get out a camera and film this because you guys think I'm exaggerating. About 1/4 to 1/3 of my entire pre-release pack was misprints, and I mean drastic misprints, like barely able to read the card, comically bad misprints. Now, I've opened, I don't know, probably the equivalent of 50 booster boxes of Amonkhet, And, I mean, damn close to 0 misprints. OGW, I had, out of just the uncommon slot, 4,000 to 6,000 miscuts. Not misprints, but miscuts. They almost miscut literally my entire order. They were so far off you could see the white marks that are, ironically, supposed to be there to guide the cutter, I assume. I could not even sell full sets at all because I didn't have enough uncommons to send out. And I couldn't buy a list them either. I mean, they cost me $1,000 at least. I should mail them a big old box of those and tell them to replace them for me. I heard they do that. So they've been letting the quality slip, which, you know, in addition to everything else they've been doing, it's just driving down any kind of customer confidence. You know, they've been lying to people. They've been printing cards that look like garbage. They've been getting worse and worse and worse. They designed the Amon Cat masterpieces like kind of ugly, and people just generally didn't like that, but they didn't feel like, you know, running it past a focus group of people. I mean, they've just been making mistake after mistake after mistake. Then you got the typo, the other typo, and if I'm not mistaken, the other typo. It's like they're just projecting the idea that they don't give a crap anymore. They're just so lazy and irresponsible and stupid to let something like that make it past the editor, which I assume at this point isn't a person that exists. Oh, and then Wizards made the incredibly idiotic decision to listen to a minority of whiny idiots in the community. So 2 examples of that recently would be, oh, we're cutting the appearance fee for pros because why the hell should we be paying them $3,000 just to show up when we're already paying them for travel, and then they could just lose? Or they could do what one of the players did, which is show up, drop in round 1, and collect the $3,000. I am not kidding. Somebody did that. They actually did it as a protest to all of what Wizards was doing lately and the state of standards, so actually that was really damn funny. But other than that, it's kind of messed up. They were like, no, we're putting that money directly in the prize pool so that if somebody isn't a professional pro, but they do exceptionally good, they build a crazy good rogue deck, stomp everybody and make it to the final table, they get like double the prize because they earned that, okay? I know you kind of earned your 3,000 by doing incredibly well at other tournaments, but some of the time it's just you attended more tournaments, so whatever. It's kind of like a post-reimbursement for travel, but appearance fees are just stupid. They're stupid when celebrities do them, they're stupid when pro players do it in Magic. But a very tiny amount of really whiny people and pro wannabes who are delusional about their own skills were like, this is so unfair, pros get paid nothing, and compared to this sport and that sport and StarCraft, and get some damn sponsors if you want money. In fact, most of them do have them. Most of them make 50 grand plus. By the way, any pros who want to wear a Desolator t-shirt to any event and get on camera, I will give you like $50 because that is our current marketing budget here at Desolator Magic. I will also not send you the t-shirt. We don't have the budget. So they listened to a bunch of whiny idiots when actually the majority of people were like, yeah, why the hell are these people getting free travel plus $3,000 just to show up and do terrible? That's idiotic. Oh, and don't even get me started on the free 3 rounds of buys thing. Oh my God. And refusing to crack down on cheaters and then covering it up. Ooh, that helped their image. But then, oh yes, people were like, what do you mean I can't use my cards as long even though you got rid of core sets and changed the entire structure of standard and you had to make this change? Yeah, now we're on a 5, 6, 7, 8 rotation, so that's not good. The result of that is, overpowered decks. What the hell do you know? Oh my God, I never would have thought. It's like if you add 25% more cards to the potential building pool, the result is overpowered garbage. And it makes R&D's job harder. Gee, look what happened there. So listening to a very small pool of idiots who don't know what they're talking about are very selfish, very cheap, and very stupid. They basically said, I want to keep my dual lands longer. You're killing my dual lands, and that's the most expensive part of a deck. Like, that part of it I get and completely agree with, but everything else, the bigger picture, no, you're completely wrong. Sorry. So Wizards listening to those people and within like 2 days, without even trying it, without even seeing if it cost them customers or how much, or taking a poll, doing some market research, see how many people are pissed off because of it, or running it by R&D saying, hey, do you guys want to test 8 sets all together? That'll be fun. Nope, they were like, oh my God, bad PR on Reddit by a bunch of whiny Reddit liberals. Oh no, we got to change it back. And not really change it back because it never was this many sets legal. It always was like a core set. So the result of that is the disastrous bad prices of Amon Cat because, like I said, you don't need Amon Cat. You could run any of the other things that are legal that wouldn't normally be. Hour of Devastation is likely to be the worst selling set of all time. ever in the history of Magic. Oh, relative to the set before it, because obviously even now Amonkhet sold 10 times more than, like, I don't know, Homelands. But it's going to be the worst box EV we've ever seen if they don't crank up the power. And if they do, nobody's going to play their game because overpowered decks are no fun. So catch-22 that they put themselves in. So I think they're going to go back on this pretty damn quick and just ignore the people, hopefully. So listening to a minority of whiners has been a huge detriment, probably the worst mistakes that they've made ever in the last couple years. So it's like for every market research poll that they take that's a step in the right direction, they listen to a tiny, vocal minority of morons and then just backslide. So you're seeing a pattern. Every time they do something really, really, really good, they do something really, really, really bad to offset it. Oh, we're firing all the people who are responsible for perpetually keeping MTGO a non-working pile of crap that everybody hates. Oh, yay, we're taking a step in the right direction, hiring like ex-Valve employees. Woo! And we're also adding treasure boxes to MTGO so that it's 30 to 50% more expensive to play, especially if you're a drafter. Hey, why don't they listen to a vocal majority of people and roll that one back? Oh, is it because it's directly related to money? Oh, okay. See, they improve MTGO, they make a positive management change that nobody thought they would ever make because they've been screwing it up for decades, and then they just kick MTGO players right in the nuts. So what I would strongly suggest Wizards starts doing is making positive decisions that are a step in the right direction, and then not doing something to screw it up. So, I mean, that's been the shortest summary. There's way more examples, but it's like Wizards has done tons of positive stuff, and people who are, idiot Wizard fanboys who are totally tunnel vision, Wizards can do no wrong, like certain other YouTubers, they're like, oh yeah, look at all this positive stuff they've done, and they just ignore the negatives because they're just dreaming, or that's their image that they want to portray of the company, or they're just so damn used to it at this point of Wizards making stupid decisions that it doesn't stand out as much. Then you got the people that are, really fed up with Wizards and tend to be a little bit more negative. If they do something vaguely positive, it might not be worth me covering, but if they do something negative, there is more evidence to support the fact that Wizards needs to restructure and fix themselves damn quick, so of course I'm going to make a video about it. So being right in the middle, which I try to be a little bit more often now, obviously. I mean, you can look up at least 10 positive videos I made lately about Wizards because they've done really good things, like I said. Everything I mentioned in this video, I've made a video about. But unfortunately, without people constantly calling out Wizards on their crap and their dumb decisions and their, outlining the side effects of what they've done and just spelling it out to the community so that they could regurgitate it to them anytime they're asked, without that, they're never going to change. They're never going to get any better. Oh my God. If you don't complain about something, if you don't call people out on their stupidity, they're going to keep doing it. There's no accountability. And I think we all know within their company, there's no accountability. So it has to come from the customers. So are people who constantly rag on Wizards for their dumb decisions and detrimental actions to the community just negative people and they're just angry people all the time? Or at the end of the day, are they trying to push Wizards to improve? I'd say the latter, definitely. And that certainly describes me. So the moral of the story at the end of the day is Wizards is not, oh my gosh, turned completely around, making tons of good decisions that go for them. They can do no wrong and they're so great now. But it's not the same old constant negativity, just dumb mistake after dumb mistake with no sign of improvements that it was a little bit ago. I'd say Wizards is generally moving in a more positive direction. Well, not really. I mean, like I said, they pretty much offset every positive decision. So at least they're not backsliding. They've stopped. They're in park right now. I think they need to shift it into reverse and back up a little bit from where they've been going. Hooray for analogies. So if you've got some more examples of massive, massive screw-ups that Wizards did lately, or some examples of anything good they've done, leave that down in the comments section for all of us to enjoy, and I'll see you guys next video.